Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride.
Hi guys. I'm sorry if I'm blurry. I just did a speed test. My speeds are faster than I've ever seen before. I'm not kidding. It says move the router closer to the computer. They could not be closer physically. Physically, they could not be closer. They are virtually touching, and perhaps that's a problem. Should I maybe move them a little further apart? Like, I don't know. I don't know how signals work. Whatever. I hope that everybody's doing well today. Thank you for appeasing my lateness. I was really hoping that it would just smarten up, to be honest. Also, StreamYard was acting up there for a moment. I added one of the videos. Oh, fuck. I hope I didn't. Okay, so I have to re-add this video now because it's the one we're going to watch, the first one. Okay, before I do that, well, should I do that first? No. We'll just add the video. Prepare for Creed frame. Prepare. Okay. I think we're through the most of it, the worst of it. Hi, Mayor, by the way. Also, guys, fuck you, Streamlabs. Get off my lawn. I just was also checking to make sure my door is not open because yelling "get off my lawn" loudly out my door is probably not recommended. So, like I was saying, oh, hold on, I can take this down for right now. Med check. Okay. Med check for everybody. Do a med check. I have a coffee and a lemonade. So that's great news. Both of these videos are not yet videos that I've made to release on the channel, but they will be. So you know the drill. If you're bothered by my voice, just wait and look on the video page. The first video is going to be, I think, all of what was good from Thurston County today. But it was a bit of a nothing day for Thurston. And so, but there was one interesting case. So we're going to watch that. And then I was in Kansas via the internet. I got two cases. Well, the first case I found it was just standardly interesting. And I was almost going to stop listening. And I did, in fact, stop recording because I was like, meh, that wasn't that great. You know, doesn't seem like anything's good happening here. But let's just say the second case is a little bit disturbing. There will be a trigger warning on it. And I did manage to get it. So I think you guys will enjoy it. It'll open up some big discussion points. And yeah, we can experience it together. But no trigger warning on this one unless you have bad neighbors. Then you may be triggered by this video.
Judy, please tell the truth. You just perjured.
Miss Daniels,
Okay.
hold on. Just talk to me.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're
Oh yeah, so I haven't finished editing this. I just did I just did a little bit. So that was going to be the coming up part. Hi Mel, good morning. Yeah.
go to Miss Jensen and Miss Daniels. So can I have you both come on up and have a seat at the tables? Okay. And this is number 24-128. And Miss Jensen, this is your petition for an anti-harassment order against Miss Daniels. All right. Now, Ms. Daniels, I see that you have, okay, you did receive service. In other words, you were notified by Olympia Police. I didn't see that at first, but I did see that you also filed some exhibits last week. Okay. So Ms. Daniels, are you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and Ms. Jensen, you ready too? Okay. Now, the court previously did not issue a temporary order, so we'll decide today whether there's going to be an order issued or not. Now, Ms. Jensen is the petitioner. You have the burden of proof to show to the court by preponderance of the evidence that you're entitled to an anti-harassment. Okay. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to swear you both in, and then Ms. Jensen, I'm going to have you go first. You're going to tell me why it is you believe you're entitled to an anti-harassment order. You can refer to things that you've already filed in this case, including your petition that you initially filed. That's already part of the court record, so I've reviewed that. Then after you've had a chance to tell me everything you think I need to know, then I'm going to turn to Ms. Daniels, and it'll be her turn, and she did the same thing. You tell me why it is you don't think an order should be issued, or why the evidence is no good. And
if I can speak, I think the whole thing should be dismissed because it's just not the truth at all.
We'll see. That's
Okay.
what the hearing's for. I'll
Okay.
listen to both sides and make exactly that decision.
Okay.
So after I've heard from both of you, then I'll make a decision as to whether to issue an order or not. And then I'll explain to you why I did that, and that'll be it. We'll go from
Okay.
there. So,
Thank you.
okay, so to start, have you both raise your right hands? And do you both swear that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, Ms. Jensen, go right ahead.
I really don't know what we're doing here. She came to my apartment and knocked. And I've always stuck up for Venetia. I don't know what the deal was. And she just started screaming at me about a window. And because I open it all the way, the window's only this wide. She says, I open it all the way. Well, yeah, I do. I'm heat intolerant. You know, when it's hot in the hallway, I open it. We don't have AC in the hallway. And then she comes up in my face and just starts screaming. And then she starts butting me. And now she hollers down the hallway when she sees me. She mocks me through her window. I'm just waiting for her to blow up again. What is she going to do? I have enough health issues without worrying about her attacking me.
So tell me when this happened.
The 10th.
Of April? This
Yes.
month? Okay. All right. Now you two are, you both live at Casa Madrona?
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
You neighbors there, like next door or
Across the hall.
same floor and everything? Okay. How long have you both lived there?
I lived there 3 years.
How long have you been there?
13,
Okay.
but she hasn't lived there 3 years. It's hasn't even been, It was,
I had my
Let's,
3-year
hold on,
review.
hold
Okay.
on, hold
all
on.
right,
But
no problem.
I just asked a question. I'm
But,
trying
but
to
on
understand
this
everything.
subject, this isn't the first time she's done this. She's gotten written up for doing it to her next door neighbor.
Well, let's focus on you and let's
You know,
focus on
I
the
just can't.
situation.
She attacked me.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to understand. So you had your window open.
The hallway.
Okay, and why do you think that upset Miss Daniels?
She says that I'm shutting it. I never shut the window. I open it all the way. She says she only wants it halfway. I said, well, all you had to do is tell me. I said,
Mhm.
someone's.
This is over. A window being opened halfway as opposed to fully. Is that what I'm supposed to understand? Hi, Jonathan. Can you imagine living here? Holy shit.
Putting sticky stuff all over it, which
Oh.
come to find out was her.
Okay, but you're gonna need to educate me a little bit here because it's not clear to me.
I didn't know there was a problem. I
But
had no
explain-
idea.
Can you explain to me why it's a problem? Because ordinarily somebody opening or closing a window doesn't mean anything to anyone else.
That's it. I don't know what the problem was.
Mhm.
And she ran back up on me and started screaming, just
Mhm.
screaming in my face.
Do you remember what she said?
Oh God. Some of it I cannot say. She says I'm a white devil bitch. I'm a fat bitch. I'm
White devil bitch. A fat bitch. That is not available on this channel. But thanks for asking. I'm just thinking, cataloging in my head. I'm like, what cupboard is that in? I know where it is. Thanks for being here. Hope you are well. This lady, did she just seriously say white devil bitch, fat bitch? I'm gonna scroll it back here a moment and here.
That's it. I don't know what the problem was.
Mhm.
And she ran back up on me and started screaming, just
Mhm.
screaming in my face.
Do you remember what she said?
Oh God. Some of it I cannot say. She says I'm a white devil bitch. I'm a fat bitch. I'm on drugs. I'll give you a hair follicle now. I take too many heart medications, sugar pill medication, and everything else to do any drugs. If you get smoke around me, I go into an asthma attack. You know, and she started hollering down the hall, she's a drug addict. You know, and I'm like, Venetia, what the hell? And when she did this, I pushed her away and then she came back at me. I mean, I've never seen anyone blow up like that in my life.
And then how many times has this kind of thing happened?
It's never happened to me.
Has it
And
happened?
after
Did it
that,
happen after that?
no,
or is
she
that the
just
only
hollers
time?
out her window, bitch, and then hollers down the hallway,
Okay.
help me, and dies laughing. And then I had to go to the office personnel because she says, oh, I want to tell you how sorry I am. And I said, do not talk to me. Get away from me. And I'm walking off and she starts following me. I said, don't follow me. I'll call the cops. Well, then she starts screaming at me again.
So how did the management at Casa Madrona handle it?
They're waiting for the court case.
They're not doing anything till we get done.
Yeah, they're putting it on someone else's shoulders.
Okay.
No one wants to take accountability. She knocked on my door. I was ready for bed. I had to go to the hospital over this. And I'm still having repercussions.
How are we feeling so far? We haven't heard from the other lady quite yet, officially, but what do we think so far about this lady? She is wearing what appears to be a life alert necklace prominently. I am getting Karen vibes, but I am getting, I don't know. This is such an odd story. An odd story. All the way.
And I just sit there and wait. I don't even answer my door now. If someone knocks, I don't answer it.
So let me ask you a question. Other than this incident you're talking about and what's happened since then with the yelling and that sort of thing, were you two friends before this?
Yeah, we talked.
Okay. Just neighborly stuff?
Yeah, I told her how beautiful her flowers were. And she told me I'm jealous of her during the fight because I have pants that match hers. Well, you know what? Don't buy Walmart clothes if you don't want no one to match you.
So what do you think changed that
I
went from
don't
being
know.
neighborly to this?
I don't know. I thought she was being neighborly when she not. I would have never went out the door if I knew she was mad. I didn't even have my cane with me
All right.
because I didn't expect, I thought she was just going to talk to me like she's giving me stuff from my wall.
All right. Is there anything else that I need to know before I hear from Ms. Daniels?
I want to feel safe.
I got that. All right then, Ms. Daniels.
Sir, this is what actually happened. I have a window, I put pictures in. The window that she's talking about is right by my door. I get up every morning and I crack the window just so the building can have, a little fresh air. She'll come over to the window, open it wide. So we were just playing this window game. I shut it, she opened it. So I said,
Look at the judge. Look at the long blink from the judge here. I'm going to back it up. Just watch the judge carefully. He is so disappointed that this is what's happening on his Monday.
a little fresh air. She'll come over to the window, open it wide. So we were just playing this window game. I shut it, she opened it. So I said, you know what, this is kind of silly. I'm gonna go to her and ask her, what are we doing here? I went to her door, Your Honor, and I asked her, what's going on with the window? She started screaming at me saying, that is not your window. So it got really loud. And the neighbor next door, which lived next door to her in 115, her name is Christina Keller. She came out, she's like, what's going on out here? We were just going back at each other screaming. And as I was standing there, the next thing I know, this lady punched me in the face. And I walked back like this. And I said, oh no, I got my phone. I was so nervous. I was going to call the police, but I couldn't. I was just so shocked that she punched me in the face. I couldn't dial my phone. So next thing I know, she went back in the house and me and the other lady were just like, whoa, what just happened here? And then she came back out the door again. And I said, you know what? You need to just go back in the house. You don't tell me what to do. And then she hit me again. And this time when she hit me, she fell over into me and we fell on the ground and I ended up on top of her and she took her arms and wrapped them around me while I was on top of her. And she started screaming, help me, help me. I said, you're the one. She's so strong, Your Honor, I couldn't even break away. I said, can you just please let me up? She finally let her arms go. So she walked down the hallway and me and the other lady was just still standing there. And then the next thing I know, here comes the police. They come talk to me and they looked at my face. They took pictures and everything. And then the fire truck came. They looked at me and gave me a cold pack for my face. And after that, I went home and my face was throbbing. So I said, you know what, I better go to urgent care just to make sure. that I'm okay. So I went to urgent care at 6 o'clock. I didn't get home until 12:45. Your Honor, sir, I never touched her. I never pushed her. All we had was words. I never put my hands, I would never hit a lady with a cane. I would never do that. I am not a violent person.
Do you have access to
Hold
the
on.
police?
Let me listen to Miss Daniel. Why don't you go ahead and sit
Yeah,
down?
I would
Go ahead and have
never,
a seat, Miss
Judy,
Daniels.
Judy, please tell the truth. You just
No.
perjured.
Miss Daniels,
Okay.
hold on. Just talk to me.
Okay,
And why don't you go ahead and have a seat? You
Okay.
can just relax.
Do you have the police report?
No.
Can I give you the police report?
Sure. You should have given that to me earlier.
Well, I thought you had it.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
I don't. Is this from the incident that you were just talking about,
Yes.
Miss Daniels?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take
yeah,
a look
when
at
the
that.
police was there, I was so nervous, sir, I didn't get a chance to tell them that she hit me twice, but when the police officer did come back to look at the camera footage, I told him that she actually hit me twice.
All right.
And I did talk to the manager about what.
Camera footage. What kind of building is this? This is crazy. I think this woman's a little bit overzealous in her defense. Maybe it's just the way she is. But Navar's police videos, is that right? Yeah, I got it right. Good. Made a good point. Why is she wearing a hat in court? Even if it has a flower in it, she shouldn't be wearing the hat in court. Oh, and thank you. This is a temporary change, if you will. I want the camera footage, but we know in this court it's not going to happen. He's going to read this police report. We'll scrub through it because he is such a slow reader. I actually thought about this earlier today. I thought, is that what makes him a good lawyer and judge? In comparison to me, who would be like just trying to get through it as fast as possible and reading it and maybe not comprehending it. Like maybe I'm just too stupid to understand that smart people read slower. I don't know. I was just like, how long is this report?
She saw on the camera footage, and she told me that the only thing that she saw on the camera footage was me on top of her. And I said, how is that possible and they're trying to say that the other witness didn't step into the situation until I was on top of her.
Well, let me read this. All right.
Okay.
That's a weird giggle. Yeah, I reread it, but the first time I read it, it's usually pretty quick. Also, MB, I sent you a Discord message about yesterday. So I just fast forwarded like 2 minutes. And then was duped by her moving her shit around.
Okay. I've read this report now. All right. I think I've heard what I needed to hear to be able to decide the case. All right. And Ms. Jensen, do you need this back?
Okay, call it now. What do we think is going to happen? Let's get our votes in the chat. Will she get the order? Will it be denied or issued? What do you think? What do you think? I mean, it's going to be a hard order if it is put in place because they live across the hall from each other. So how far away can you have it? A 5-foot order? You know what I'm saying? Put the guesses in the chat. Like I said. Okay. Vicky thinks it's going to be denied. Denied. Choose the aggressor. Issued. Jim thinks it's going to be issued. I do believe the judge hates his job today. I'll tell you that much. That I pretty much guarantee. All right, let's see. Denied. Let's see.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll let you take it back. All right, so as far as I'm not going to grant an order here, and there's two reasons for that, really, two kind of standout reasons. One is it's really hard to tell exactly what happened here, and I think that the police who came and investigated everything, they came to the same conclusion. It's really hard to tell exactly what happened here, even though they looked at the video and listened to what both of you had to say, and listen to what your neighbor had to say. And I agree with them that it is hard to know exactly what happened because your stories are a little bit different and you're both clearly, pretty upset about it. So there's that. The second thing is that in order to issue an anti-harassment order, I have to find that there's been a course of conduct. And generally speaking, just one confrontation or one instance doesn't constitute a course of conduct. So even if I were to find, well, in this case, it looks like Ms. Daniels was the aggressor against Ms. Jensen, that really wouldn't be a sufficient basis to issue an anti-harassment order either. So I'm not going to make a decision as to who's the aggressor. I don't know that there's enough evidence to be able to do that. But regardless, I don't think there's been demonstrated here that there's been a course of conduct directed at Ms. Jensen that would justify issuing an order either. So the legal standard hasn't been met. So those are the reasons. And I hope for both of your sakes that you can get back to being friendly and neighborly and let this incident
Want her to
go.
let me- Leave me
So
alone.
why don't we,
Can I speak, Your Honor?
why don't we just leave it at that?
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask a question, but keep in mind, I made my decision, okay?
Yeah, no, it's nothing to do with that. If she keeps yelling out her window and that at me, can I come back?
If new things happen, you can always come back.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
right,
That's
you're
all I
welcome.
wanted.
Now, the order that I'm,
Did we see that? Look at her little shaking her head at her. Okay, I'm going to roll it back. I'm going to thank Drunk Beaver Productions, aka Jonathan Hart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gifting memberships, you rock. They will be fighting as soon as they get home. Look at the lady that did that has the flower. Watch her face here as she, in my opinion, it looks like a taunt or some sort of, it's just not needed. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Just watch.
Thank you, Your Honor.
right,
That's
you're
all I
welcome.
wanted.
now the order that I'm writing that, basically says the same thing that I just told you. The clerk will be able to make a copy of that for each of you.
Back in great form, Mayor. Thank you so much. Do. Brain can't do the sound. I just think that was immature of that lady. I don't. Thank you guys so much again. Make sure that you have gifting turned on the channel. We do members only on Sundays. So 2 shows on Sundays. This week we watched quite a body cam video, a little bit crazy. And we also talk about channel stuff, that kind of thing. Today is Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday because we're watching Thurston. It's Monday. So, the next case that we're moving on to here, folks, is the one that needs a trigger warning, and I need you to hear it. It will probably piss some of you. Well, it'll piss most of you off. It may trigger some of you, and I just want you to understand that the top priority is everybody's mental health. William, the watermark will be on it when I post it as a video. I didn't have it when I did it. I just didn't put it in yet because I'm not finished editing, to be honest with you. I just pulled these for us to watch, but when I edit it, it will have it. Anyways, yeah. So please be careful if you're triggered. Anyways, I did put in a warning. So I just want to be clear, there's no graphic references to anything that happened. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't thought about it, but maybe. Anyways, so this video may contain references to sensitive content regarding child sex abuse. It is important to prioritize your mental well-being while engaging with this material and seek support if needed. Viewer discretion is advised. Like I said, there's really nothing graphic, but I did want to put that warning in there. This is about and we'll hear what happened. It's a plea agreement or a plea. The judge is taking a plea, and it is a bond reconsideration hearing. And that's our guy, allegedly, although he made a plea. Even though he doesn't have a conviction yet, does that? If he's giving the plea, I know, I actually got a video of Jill Gillette earlier, and I love the tie, Judge.
And before going on the record, proposed announcement to the court, Mr. Pate.
Mr. Martini is going to plead no contest.
And okay, here's the last thing I'll say before I let this play for a little bit, okay? When I was listening to it, I heard them talk about Mr. Martini, right? I had turned it off, I'd stopped recording, and I was like, oh, Martini, that's funny. I like that last name. I want to listen to this. And so I kept listening because they were talking. They were like, is Mr. Martini ready? Is Mr. Martini ready? And I just thought it was fucking hilarious how my face dropped when we hear what happens. And then even further, yeah, you'll see.
To count 1 and count 2, which are going to be amended to indecent liberties with the child under KSA 21-5506A1. State will be dismissing the remainder of the charges pursuant to plea. We think this is going to put Mr. Martini in a border box. At this time, the state is not, it's not a part of the plea agreement. whether the state will recommend border box or not, the state will be free to determine that. At the time of sentencing, the defense would be making border box requests at the time of sentencing.
Okay, and just for clarification, once again, that's a plea of not guilt, or excuse me, no contest to count 1, amended to indecent liberties with a child. And what is the severity level of that new charge?
It's a 5, Your Honor.
Yuck. Yuck. Yuck.
Thank you. And likewise, that would be on count 2. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I believe that this will also require registration for 25 years.
Perfect. Longer, please. Oh, just wait.
And the engaged in the sexual intercourse with a child, are there any, for identification, any initials to be placed before the court?
The child is, her initials are DW.
D as in dog, W as in Walker.
Yeah, there's a dog around here. He did, Billy. It is so the age is what is not good. It is the same age as my daughter, born in 2008, but the offense happened 2 years ago, I think. And as we hear later in this video, when they are talking about bond redetermination, because right now he's sitting in jail on a $100,000 bond, but they are asking that to be lowered, we're going to hear some interesting reasons why he would take the plea. Let's put it that way.
Yes. She has a year of birth of 2008.
2000 what?
8.
So when they started saying 2008, I was like literally heaving a little bit. I was just like, oh, ew. And this is before they go on the record, right? They're going to go on the record here in a minute and then bleh.
Go ahead and go on the record. Case is entitled State of Kansas versus Michael Martini. Case number 24 CR 1, Elk County. State of Kansas appears by Elk County Attorney Jill Gillette. The defendant, Mr. Martini, appears in person and by court-appointed counsel, Chris Pate. This matter does regularly come before the court this date for arraignment. And Mr. Pate, does your client wish reading of the charges against him?
No, Your Honor, we acknowledge receipt of the complaint information, waive formal reading, and we do have a plea agreement in this matter.
And how does Mr. Martini wish to plead, Mr. Pate?
He will plead no contest to counts 1 and 2, which will be amended to severity level 5, indecent liberties with the child, under KSA 215506A1. The state will dismiss the remainder of charges at the time of sentencing.
Keep that in mind. The remainder of the charges. Also, yeah, they'll just wait.
Sentencing, both parties are free to make appropriate sentencing recommendations. We think this will probably fall in a border box.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. And Ms. Gillette, is that the state's understanding of the plea negotiations?
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Martini, Mr. Pate has advised the court you do wish to enter a plea of no contest to amended count 1, indecent liberties with a child, a severity level 5 person felony, and a plea of no contest to count 2, indecent liberties with a child. Once again, a severity level 5 person felony. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
There are a number of questions that I do need to ask you in order to be advised as whether you are knowingly and voluntarily entering your plea. Sir, how old are you?
I am 35, Your Honor.
Are you Sir, how old are you?
I am 35, Your Honor.
Are you married or single?
I am single.
Are you employed?
No, I'm a disabled veteran, Your Honor.
What is the highest education level you have obtained?
Some college, just short of a degree.
Are you making your plea voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have there been any promises or threats made to you which have influenced you to plead no contest?
No, Your Honor.
I understand there have been certain plea negotiations entered into between your counsel and counsel for the state. Do you understand, even though the attorneys may make certain recommendations in regards to sentence, the decision in regards to appropriate sentence is mine, pursuant to the sentencing guidelines for the state of Kansas?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is where I really do appreciate when Judge Boyd sometimes goes away from plea agreements. It's very uncommon. I've heard judges boast before that they always follow plea agreements. I've never had a plea agreement I didn't follow. But Judge Boyd is like a sniper attack with plea agreements that she doesn't like. It's like nobody sees it coming and they know they better not frickin' say anything afterwards. Just deal with it. He certainly is. And so when they say the sentencing guidelines coming up here, at first I thought they were talking in years, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's actually exactly in line with what I would think. But then they said they were months, and I was like, oh, no. I'm sorry. No. Years, not months. You'll see. Also, hi, Graham. Trigger warning.
When you plead no contest, you surrender and waive certain legal rights you would otherwise have if you chose to go to trial. Do you understand you have the right to a speedy trial where your guilt or innocence would be determined by a jury, or if you chose to waive a jury, by a judge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand at such a trial you would have the right to confront witnesses against you and have them cross-examined by your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand at such a trial you would have the right to subpoena witnesses who may have information favorable to you and call them to testify in your behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand at such a trial it would be the burden of the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt on each element of the charges against you before you could be found guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand the judge and the jury must presume you are innocent until the state proves otherwise, if ever, beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand if convicted at such a trial, you'd have the right to ask the court for a new trial, and if denied, would have the right to appeal your conviction and your sentence to the appellate courts of the state of Kansas.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand you're giving up each one of these rights if you plead no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the sentence which may be imposed?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may be sentenced in each count anywhere from 31 to 136 months in prison.
See, I was like 31 to 136 like years. I was like, yeah, that's actually a pretty good guideline for me. I don't like it.
If you would have a criminal history of 2 or more misdemeanors or less, there is a placement for you in a border box whereby it would be at the discretion of the court whether you're placed on probation or in prison. If you would have a criminal history of 1 non-person felony or more, there is a presumption you would be placed in prison. As you appear before the court today, I do not know what your criminal history is, if any. You would best know what your criminal history would be. Do you have any question as to the sentence the court may impose?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that in addition to the possible sentence and fine, the court will order payment of court cost? I may require you to pay restitution for any personal injury or property loss. I may impose administrative cost of a probation program and may require you to reimburse the state for your indigent legal fees.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you ever been adjudged mentally ill by court?
No, Your Honor.
Ever had a guardianship or conservatorship set up to handle your affairs?
No, Your Honor.
Are you presently under the influence of any intoxicating liquors or drugs?
No, Your Honor.
Have you had plenty of time to discuss this case with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you like any more time to talk to Mr. Pate about the matters we have just discussed?
No, Your Honor, I think I'm okay.
Keeping in mind all matters we have discussed, is it still your wish to plead no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court at this time will take a factual basis from the state of Kansas.
Your honors, the
I'll renew that trigger warning, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Okay. Hold on, actually. There we go. Okay.
between June 1st of 2023 and January 28th of 2024. Actually, it lasted about a year from January to January. The defendant engaged in a relationship with a minor child by the initials of DW. She was between the ages of 14 and 15 at the time of the relationship, with him being between 34 and 35 years of age. The relationship included touching, fondling, kissing, sexual intercourse, and other sexual conduct between the juvenile and the adult, lasting for more than 2 occasions. The juvenile related all of the information to a CAC interviewer. Mr. Martini has quickly pled in this matter and not contested his charges. Those all happened in or around Elk County, Kansas, with the stepfather and mother residing in Howard, Kansas. She also has a residence with her father in Leon, but all of these incidents happened around the Howard, Pennsylvania Street.
Almost.
And Mr. Martini, do you know of any reason why the court should not accept your plea of no contest?
No, Your Honor, but may I say something about some of that, a little bit of that? I didn't even live here in January. I didn't move here until March. I've just barely lived here a year now, so I didn't live here in January.
Yeah, so I guess I forgot. So I guess it was, she said it was from June to January. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. 8 months. 8 months. Yeah, and as a reminder, the child is born in 2008, and I mean, that's almost 20 years difference.
I lived in San Antonio in January.
Great. San Antonio should look into that.
And Mr. Pate, you look like you're trying to speak, but you're muted.
What I was saying, the alleged dates of the offense were June 1 of 23 to January 28 of 24. If I'm understanding Mr. Martini right, he's saying he didn't live in Elk County in January of 23, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that wasn't even in the dates of offense.
Okay, well, she said January to January. She said a year, so I didn't live here in January. I moved here in March.
Okay.
The
That gross
dates
tongue.
that you would be entering a plea of no contest would be between June 1 of 2023 and January 28 of 2024, and the acts complained of occurred in Elk County, Kansas. Is that your understanding of what you're pleading no contest to, Mr. Martini?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you know
Why was that so suspect? I'm getting weird vibes.
of any reason why the court should not accept your plea of no contest and enter a finding of guilt or not guilty?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Pate?
I know of no reason, Your Honor.
Mr. Martini, the court does find that you are alert and intelligent, that you understand the nature of the charges and appreciate the consequences of pleading no contest. I further find you understand the rights you're giving up by pleading no contest. I do find the facts of the case to be sufficient to find you guilty of count 1. Guilty of count 1, indecent liberties with the child, and count 2, indecent liberties with the child. I further find your decision to plead no contest is freely given, and that you have had the advice of a good attorney with whom you are well satisfied. Therefore, I do accept your plea of no contest. I do find you guilty as previously set forth on the record, and the court does order all other counts herein dismissed. Court goes off the record for purposes of scheduling.
Now, they stayed off the record for a while, and I kept listening, mostly because I was like, oh, well, I gotta know when to follow up on this. But then they started talking again, because now the lawyer wants to do a bond redetermination. Now, I hope I got the part that I think I got. I think I did. But anyways, there's more, because yeah, the bond is going to be redetermined, or that's what they're motioning for. Hi, Carrie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right now he has $100,000 bond, and yeah, let's keep, yeah, we'll see.
And I'm going to ask Chris Grove if she can check, and Tony Bauer with Court Services. How I'm looking at,
Not back on the record yet.
okay,
Oh yeah, I remember. So he asked if it would take 8 weeks to do a pre-sentence investigation, if that would be enough time.
Rhonda, we'll go back on the record. and the record may reflect the presence of all parties previously appearing. And Mr. Martini, the court has previously discussed with you the requirement that you will have going forward of a 25-year registration period. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And today I do order that court services meet with you in regards to signing the acknowledgement of that registration requirement. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I do order and direct Mr. Bauer to meet with you immediately after this hearing. Do you have any question about that?
No, Your Honor.
Otherwise, after conferencing with all parties herein, the court does schedule sentencing for Monday, June 24 at 1 p.m. Monday, June 24, 2024 at 1 p.m. Further motions to the court, Mr. Pate?
Defense would ask the court address the issue of bond. Mr. Martini is currently in custody on $100,000.
Currently on what? Sorry, buddy, on 100,000 bond.
Is currently in custody on $100,000 cash or surety bond with GPS monitoring. That was reduced from 300,000. We would ask the court consider further modification. That bond was set when Mr. Martini was facing 36 counts of
36 counts, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard that. And we just heard him take a plea deal down to 2. 36. See, that math ain't mathin' for me. And I still think that 2 is enough. 2 is enough. 2 is enough for that. Yeah, $50,000 a charge. Perfect. Sounds golden to me. Well, you're coming in near the end here, Donald. This is worth a rewind. But this guy is a piece of work. And I'm going to back that up here for the lawyer to say this again, just so we hear it. We're hearing it.
300,000. We would ask the court consider further modification. That bond was set when Mr. Martini was facing 36 counts of level 3 sex offenses, which would have been presumptive prison regardless of criminal history. He's now pled to 2 level 5 charges. We anticipate they're going to be border box, so there's no guarantee he's going to get probation, but he's in a much better position than he was. He has little to no criminal history. I think he may have some traffic tickets or something of that nature, but his record is clean. He is a disabled veteran. He receives VA disability, as I understand it. If he was able to make bond, he would remain in the area.
Will he continue to receive his veteran benefits while he's in jail? I wonder.
Until sentencing was completed. I don't think he's a flight risk, certainly not as much of a flight risk as he was when he was looking at presumptive prison charges. He's now in the border box, and obviously he's got every incentive to show up at sentencing if he would like the court to consider that border box finding. No contact with the victim in the case is appropriate, and we agree that should remain in place.
And Mr. Pate, the amount and type of bond recommended to the court.
10,000 cash or surety or another amount the court deems appropriate.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. Recommendations from the state, Ms. Gillette.
Judge, I would still like to have GPS requirement, no contact with the victim. I'd be more comfortable with a bond around the amount of 50,000. Just to make sure that there's no contact and that he comes back to court. That's more what I am comfortable with.
Thank you, Ms. Gillette. The court does grant the motion to modify bond. Court does order $10,000 cash or surety bond. All requirements of bond previously ordered, including but not limited to GPS monitoring.
Because he's getting out for $1,000. This is very frustrating. Very, very frustrating, this case. I'm telling you. Oh, my neighbor's car alarm's been going off all day. Do you hear it?
Any other matters to come before the court, Ms. Gillette
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
and Mr. Pate?
I would just ask Mr. Martini call my office if he does post that bond.
And that was all she wrote. That was all I got. You saw it. I was only behind, though, by like maybe 40 seconds or 30 seconds. So I didn't miss much. I don't know if I agree with that. Oh, the alarm stopped. Thank God. That was frustrating. Oh, my picture. That was really frustrating. Like I said, I'm going to make this into a case. I'll post it. I'm sure it won't be monetized. Well, it might be monetizable, but maybe not. I didn't like it. I think 10,000 is low for somebody who just pled. Right? Like, I don't understand. I've seen them go harder on way less serious things. I think we all have. Yeah, but because he knows he's getting out $1,000 and he gets his VA benefits. I'm sure they're a couple $1,000s a month. You're surprised she did? Oh, here, hold on. There is one more video I got earlier. And before this, I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Prepare for the Creed frame, by the way, when I get this. Where is it? Hold on. I fucking put it somewhere. So Jill was, this is what brought me to this court this morning or today to begin with. I was like, what the fuck is Jill Gillette doing in her car acting like she's at the beach? I've just noticed now she's got the back door open. And I I was like, what in the heck is going on here? And I started catching this. So watch this little, I think it's only 40 seconds long, but I couldn't figure it. I was like, why, Jill? Like, you know, you're on Zoom too. Like, this is so weird. Is that Pringles beside her? I think it is Pringles. Oh. And then she went away. Anyways, I laughed very hard at that. No, not to be rude or anything, just like I just thought it was funny. It struck my attention. You guys, I really hope that you had a wonderful evening. Oh, apparently clicking that button does nothing. I love it. Anyways, like I said, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for being here, for all your support always. I really appreciate it. Please, yeah, she rubs me the wrong way. I was listening to a case the other day where it was her boyfriend, like Jill's boyfriend, like the guy said that there was something to do with her boyfriend. She talked about how she has a boyfriend. And I was just like, fuck you, Jill. Humble brag all the time about your fucking boyfriend. Okay. Rub it in. Thanks so much. Anyways, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful night. Remember that I love you. I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. You saw that one too, MB? Right? Yeah. The boyfriend who works at I don't want to dox him because I think they live in a small town, but it was it was weird. It was like a weird moment into her life because she was just like, yeah, my boyfriend works at this tire shop and that's part of his business. And then she named off some of his coworkers and the guy was getting banned from going there by Judge Webster. It was fucking hilarious. Anyways, guys, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.